Aries ascendant. If you are an Aries ascendant or even Aries moon sign, this lunar eclipse is a very important eclipse for you. See, fourth lord is moon in your case. This moon is in the 11th house. When moon goes in the 11th house, technically it's the fourth lord 8 places away from itself in the house of gain. So it shows transformative gains from your fourth house. Fourth house is happiness. So it shows sudden generation of wealth that makes you happy. Also it shows home renovation, purchase of property, purchase or sale of commercial goods. Maybe you are renting something, you are giving things on rent, you are doing some renovation in your home, you are bringing some very positive item in your home, and this Rahu moon conjunction brings a trigger, a chain reaction that changes the energy in your home. A Vastu remedy done, bringing a crystal pyramid, bringing a sphatic or quartz Shri yantra in your home, an energized quartz yantra, or some crystal that gives you and your horoscope some support, helping someone by donating old clothes, not on the eclipse but after the 14 days of eclipse, is going to be good remedy in this case. See, fourth house is also your mother. Moon is also the karaka of mother. And when it goes in the 11th house with Rahu, this eclipse also can trigger some past life karma with respect to your mother, mother-in-law or grandmother. Because everyone, all of these are your mothers only. Now with 11th house, which is not a negative house, Rahu moon stands to give you a lot. Rahu moon wants you to earn a lot of money. Rahu moon wants you to focus on creating strong associations where you can start a business, you can create contacts from the close circle. Say for example, you want a business partner. One of your close friends or one of your family member opts to become your business partner. See, now Rahu moon conjunction's trigger is giving you positive output. On 7th of September, when the eclipse actually happens, you have to maintain a lot of precaution, avoid doing any business contract or any important activity on that day. If it's always a Sunday, so you can take a break. You should do a little bit of fasting if possible and chant Om Namah Shivaya or Chandra Mantra on that particular day. On that particular day, you can energize Vastu yantra, or you can energize the entire home by sprinkling abhimantrit water or energized water. You can just have a glass of water right in front of you and chant Mahamrityunjay mantra. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urva Rukmi Vabandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyam Amritat. A simple pronunciation. I know it's not a Vedic aligned pronunciation because then you have to go with the meter and the chanda, but a simple chanting of Mahamrityunjay mantra with a glass of water in front of you, and then that water once energized, you pray to the Jaladevi that the water becomes energized and the medicinal property of water becomes very high, and then you can sprinkle that water in your home and drink some of the water. That cleanses you. 11th house is also house of elder siblings, cousins, someone who is in your network, someone who is basically a close friend converting into business partner, just as I said. Your network is going to increase, but somebody in your network can sabotage your plans. So be very careful that you should not share your plans ahead. You should not discuss too much, you should not talk too much, and keep the relevant information to relevant people only. 11th house stands to give you sudden career change and sudden growth of income. But Rahu moon can sometimes promote you to gambling. So sudden quick earning of money will fall flat. Be very mindful of how you earn the money, especially because this is the trigger of the 11th house, trigger of the Labhasthana. Sometimes it can make you a little greedy, and your decisions to make you happy will end up making you sad. 4th house will also exhibit Venus in Ashlesha. So there can be certain tension arising among family members. So keep the emotions flowing in a simple and smooth manner and try to avoid any negative confrontation with family members for the next 4 to 5 months. The best remedy will be to keep yourself happy, smile, greet people with a lot of positive aura, and work on your chakras by doing yoga and pranayama. In case of Taurus as an ascendant and moon sign, examine that moon rules your courage. See, your sign is about mental stability, financial stability. And see how beautifully the moon, which is mind, is actually your courage. That means if you are emotionally and mentally stable, the mindset can be very strong and you can defend your value and family with a lot of, you can say, a lot of courage and a lot of willpower. This eclipse will test this willpower. Why? Because for you, Taurus, the Rahu moon will be in the 10th house. 10th house is not only career and livelihood, 10th house is the platform on which you are standing. It is the very skeleton of life which supports, it's the support strength, and with the 3rd and 10th houses are connected with each other, it shows sheer willpower and ability to move forward and fight all the hardship to fulfill your dreams and survive in this world, in this realm as a human. In your case, the emotional courage, the emotional attitude will go on a test. With moon being the 3rd lord falling in the 10th house, this also shows that career related changes will be very high. Rahu moon conjunction on one side will trigger new alignments, new beginnings, and life will come full circle with respect to your job, with respect to your availability in the current company, organization, as your current role, which means if you are already given enough, this is the time to move ahead and plan something new. Either you will be given an opportunity or you will fail to accumulate the courage to continue. And this will trigger a massive change in your career. A lot of you will get promoted. A lot of you will face a lot of hardship and sudden negative energy associated with supervisors, bosses, people around you. The career atmosphere can be a little difficult. In this case, this transit, this Rahu moon lunar eclipse wants you to be personally involved in handling these matters. So there is no escape. So you will have to take matters in your own hand, especially matters related to your siblings, your neighbors. There can be unexpected career related short trips, and a simple traffic jam can change your mind of leaving the company and moving into a different company. Well, that is very much, that's a practical thing that happens in the real world. Venus, which is your ascendant lord, will be in Ashlesha in the 3rd house. So definitely you will feel the need to take a different bold step. So this is a transit, a kind of an eclipse that pushes you to the boundary, that wants you to cross the dimension, and that wants you to focus on your needs for once, and maybe this is the time when you will achieve what you want to achieve. But the process, the path is going to be a little difficult. If you are dependent on someone, that very person who promised you something may take a back step. And if your plan is not independent and you are too dependent on others, then you may have to do some compromise. Venus, your ascendant lord, is in the 3rd house in Ashlesha, which also shows a little bit of jealousy, and you can be a victim of other people being jealous of your success. So, as you say, keep yourself silent, let the success, let the karma make the noise. That will be the theme of the lunar eclipse, and this is the trigger point in your career. Now, 10th house for the elderly can affect their knee and the lower back. So, if you are experiencing sudden pain, if you are experiencing sudden transformation in your physical health, you need to correct it by changing your lifestyle, and this should be a personal initiative rather than a doctor telling you, because by that time things can become a little difficult. Eclipse in the 10th house means Ketu in the 4th house, and this means a little unhappy situation, somewhere you are a little uncomfortable and you are too focused on matters which are non-personal, which may create bad impact on your relationship, especially with your siblings. And in this case, sibling rivalry and rivalry between cousins and uncles in the family can run deep and can create chaos in some family where inheritance related clauses are involved. Be very careful. The recommendation here will be to pray to Ma Bhagavati by doing a Nava Chandi Yagya. Gemini. In case of Gemini, your second lord goes in the eclipse in the 9th house. Second lord is your Dhana lord. It represents wealth. It represents family. It represents your emotional and financial security. And such a planet, when goes in eclipse in the 9th house, it kind of pushes you to the boundary. It asks you the question whether to test your luck related to certain matters of finances. It also shows that you might have some difficult time because of a family member, that you might get a wrong guidance. The eclipse may cloud the judgment in the 9th house, and it can trigger a chain reaction where you can have a kind of a conflict with your own parents. If you have an emotional trauma related to family member, related to second house, this may come back and haunt you. Is it a negative thing? No, not really, because Jupiter is in your first house and this is the release of karma. So this is the perfect time to address generational trauma, Pitra dosh in the Kundali. If you have issues with your family members, you can resolve it now. After all, the wisdom, the wiseness is there, Jupiter in Punarvasu, aspecting the moon and Rahu in the 9th house. So you need to uphold your dharma. Dharma palan should be your ultimate karma. Now, second lord on a mundane level will give you wealth related changes. 9th house is something where you might learn how to generate new wealth. So this Rahu moon will give you a push, a dimensional push, where you can shift to a different earning modality, completely new, something that you have never thought before. This eclipse is in the 9th house, so don't test your luck. No gamble, no unnecessary investment, no unplanned decisions. Because if you do that, this eclipse will trigger negative reaction and you will end up coming back to square one, because Shatvisha is also represented by a circle. Life goes and comes back to point 0. It's a complete 360 degree. So use this as a healing transit. Use this as a healing lunar eclipse. This lunar eclipse, if you do Mahamrityunjay mantra jap and Mahamrityunjay mantra pujan and havan by a team of priests around the eclipse time, after finding the right muhurta, this is going to help you recover from any negative emotion. If you believe in something that is negative, you will get to know that it is a negative belief. Yes, those things might hit you hard because sometimes the truth is very, very bitter. But this is the time when you must swallow the bitter truth so that your life is in the right path. Money related changes, financial decisions will change during this time. If you have a plan to relocate, that might come into some hurdle, that might hit some roadblocks. If you plan to travel, if you plan to move to a different country, because of some certain insecurities, you might end up changing your plans. Be very careful when you want to travel in the next 4 to 5 months, especially international travel. And I'm not saying something that is very regular, something that is planned, but anything that changes your life. That is a very big life decision. You might have to talk to an astrologer to just confirm if it is the right Mahadasha or Antardasha for you. But overall, the recommendation will be that the eclipse of moon will challenge your faith and value system. It will push you to become more selfish. It will make you believe that shortcut or cutting corner is going to be the need of the hour. This Rahu moon conjunction is also going to make you little rebellious towards your own parents, guru and your family members' advice. The suggestion will be that don't react. Don't overreact, don't give knee-jerk reaction. Ninth house is the house of dharma. So if you follow the path of dharma and if you pray to Bhagwan Mahashiv by chanting Om Namah Shivaya, you will be aligned to the spiritual path, because that is what the actual meaning of the eclipse is. All this chaos that will be created in your life will force you to take shelter in the world of spirituality and dharma. So you should focus more on spiritual practices, visiting temples and thanking your ancestors, because who you are today is somewhere connected to the ancestors who have done some karma that made you where you are right at this point. And try to be very positive and optimistic. Use the power of Jupiter. For Cancer, ascendant and moon sign, Kark Lagan and Kark Rashi, you are going to experience a very unique lunar eclipse. For you, your ascendant lord is in the 8th house. Whenever ascendant lord, and for you its moon, goes in the 8th house, it is called Marad Karaka Sthan of Chandrama. For the moon, Scorpio is the zodiac sign where moon gets debilitated, and Scorpio is the 8th house, because 8th house is the house of constant change, transformation, ups and downs, and it is something that is the blind spot, and you can say something where you are unsure, something where you are not in control. And moon, which is mind, really don't like. Do you want to be in a constant state of chaos? Not really, right? So whenever moon goes in 8th house, it has to face those ups and downs 24/7. The certainty is almost never there. No matter how high you grow in life, no matter what you become, there is always going to be a sense of chaos. There's always going to be a sense of uncertainty in life. With Rahu and moon eclipse falling in the 8th house, it makes everything around you a little uncertain. It wants you to focus more on physical and mental well-being. This lunar eclipse wants you to focus on your overall growth in life. This wants you to focus on joint partnership with your spouse. This wants you to bring your attention back to your in-laws and resolve any karmic issue that you have with your in-laws. Because of the financial condition of your spouse, there can be tension in your own home. You physically might be pulled in issues where you don't want to be pulled, and it might create an uncertain situation in your career also. Health-wise, this is the time that you should pray to Bhagwan Shiva by chanting Mahamrityunjay mantra. So if possible, do 11 malas of Mahamrityunjay mantra on the 7th of September. Now with first lord in 8th house, this also changes you physically. It builds an aura around you, and it wants you to focus on the feedback given by other people. Rahu moon can trigger unnecessary criticism and can hurt you emotionally. What you have to do is you should focus on the positive side of everything. You should understand and try to be more humble, and you should be accepting, you should be more inclusive while there is an eclipse. Now Venus is in Ashlesha in the 1st house, and this is where the problem is. With eclipse on the 8th house, where moon is very weak, thus making your ascendant even weaker, and Ashlesha Venus in the 1st can create a false sense of entitlement, especially in relationship. This can create a lot of issues, and you might misinterpret certain words of your life partner, certain words of people, and things can blow out of proportion pretty soon. Now, the biggest remedy will be resilience, consistency, allowing the changes to happen, because change is going to be triggered. If your life is going in a certain track, this eclipse will take you to a very different dimension completely. I will definitely make a separate video just for Cancer ascendant and moon sign, a dedicated video explaining everything around your ascendant, because in your case you are very different than other 11 ascendants in this eclipse. Shadbhisha is going to create healing energies, and you may be involved in nursing or healing other people around you. So if you are in medical profession, it's going to be a time of a challenge in your case. And for Karka Rashi, occult energies are going to be all-time high. Tantra is going to be all-time high. And if you're facing any negative energy around you, if you're facing pessimism, if you are having any psychological issue, if you're facing depression, anxiety, or if you're facing just this negative emotion around you, then you should focus on Mahakali by chanting Mahakali mantras. A particular havan can be done to resolve Rahu Moon negative energies or its impact. For that you have to consult an astrologer. If you want me to do that havan, you can contact me on the given email ID and phone number. On a daily basis, what you have to do is you should prioritize your day, you should prioritize your work and stick to the routine that you have created. The more mechanical and methodical you will be, the better you will be able to manage. If you keep things uncertain, then you are adding uncertainty on top of uncertainty. It's only going to make your life even worse. So you have to go with a lot of planning, even if the plan fails, even if you are unable to execute the plan. So the core target for Karka Rashi and Karka Ascendant will be to be emotionally uplifted, confident and ready for a transformation. Leo is going to experience a very different kind of eclipse because your axis, the 1st and the 7th house, is going to experience 2 eclipses. 7th house is going to experience lunar eclipse with Rahu Moon in Aquarius. 1st house will experience a solar eclipse with Sun and Ketu, although solar eclipse is not visible in many parts of the world. Obviously, Moon is, at least in India, lunar eclipse is very much visible, solar eclipse is not. But the thing is that 7th house is the house of business partnership and marriages, any kind of contract and agreements, formal, informal. Rahu Moon is going to make some problems in already moving, say, if you are in talks of some business partnership, if there is an ongoing procedure, you might experience some problems there. Rahu and Moon can create trouble in overseas agreements. Say you want to launch your business overseas, if you want to purchase a property overseas, if you want to have a branch or a business that you want to launch overseas, or if you do export and import. There can be government rules and regulations that can impact you. There can be, what's happening around the world. There can be some activity that will disrupt your normal business practice. So business as usual will be a difficult task. Rahu Moon is not a kind of a permanent impact, but it's a trigger. It's a trigger that will open up your mind towards the loopholes, towards the gap and the negative areas of business and marriage. Definitely for the next 1 month, the recommendation will be not to start a new business or new partnerships, not to engage into any ritual related to marriage. Grah shanti is a different thing. But 7th house is also something that you see. 1st house is you, 7th house is anything that is not you, but something that complements you. If, say, imagine the 1st house is basically talks about your physical self, 7th house talks about environment or stimulus that impacts your physical self, wherever you are in agreement with someone, in exchange of energy with someone. So 7th house is more about creating balance in life. With Aquarius, it's Saturn that creates a balance. Saturn is retrograding in the 8th house. If you are a Leo moon sign, this is also Ashtam Dhaiya for you. So Leo can experience financial losses in business, over the top expenses, increase of operating expenses, blockage of investments, and certain problems in marriage that will take time to resolve. In this case, my recommendation will be to be as practical as possible, be as methodical and theoretical as possible, and whenever you're doing any project, review the documents, the clauses thoroughly. Maybe you will have to do a double review. If you're facing any legal hurdles, this Rahu Moon can create closure And if you are stuck in a toxic relationship or marriage, this Rahu moon can trigger freedom from the toxicity, because sometimes it's the poison that kills the poison. The thing is that Ketu in the first house will change the way you think about yourself. It's going to alter your personality. If you are in a relationship where there is narcissism involved, there is toxic relationship involved, and you are trying to survive, then don't, because Rahu moon is going to create a wave of illusion, a change which will change you forever. So don't change for somebody or someone if that change is negative for you. Change should be done in a way that is positive to both the parties. Especially if you are a Leo ascendant and your married life is disturbed, be careful. In this case, praying to Gauri Shankar, keeping Gauri Shankar Rudraksh at home and then offering water to the Gauri Shankar Rudraksh, chanting Om Namah Shivaya and Om Dum Durgaya Namah, or doing a Rudrabhishekam after the eclipse energies fade away after 1 month will be a very good remedy for you. On the other hand, 7th house is anything that requires a formal contract. It can be an employment contract, it can be an interior contract, it may be a contract for anything. I'm reiterating the fact that go and visit the terms of the contract. Also, if you want to take favor from someone, before taking that favor, try to know or figure out how you will repay that favor. So this eclipse is somewhat an eclipse of precaution and awareness, and this can create some level of disruption of peace in mind. But if you are spiritual, if you follow the path of spirituality, if you move more slowly in life, I think you will be able to manage this quite efficiently. For Virgo, the eclipse is happening in your 6th house. But do you know that your 11th lord is Moon, which is in the 6th house, and your gains are now dependent upon Seva. When 11th lord is in the 6th house, this shows that your money should be reinvested on solving problems and conflicts, clearing off the debt, and this is basically whatever you gain, you end up giving to the karmic debt. So it's like 1:1. This eclipse is actually going to trigger a reaction from the 11th house, where whatever you gain, you will end up dissolving the prarabdha karma. So to resolve, to finish off pending karma, this is the best time. This is the time of your life where you can actually achieve a lot. This is the time of life where you can take care of your health. For your day-to-day activity, if your Venus is weak, if your Moon is weak, this can be the time. This eclipse can trigger a chain reaction. Moon and Rahu in the 6th house can also create a confusion where you want to do seva, but somebody can misinterpret it, misread it. So what you should do? You should do anonymous donations and seva. You should help other people. You should show humanitarian side of yourself, and this is a very good time for healers, astrologers, Vastu experts, someone who is a doctor, physician, someone who is animal doctor, I'm forgetting the name, I think. This is overall a very positive time. But remember one thing, your confidence will be all-time low and you will need the spiritual support. So you should pray to your Ishtadev, Ishtadevi, Kuladevi, Kuladevata, or a god that you are really connected with. At least start chanting Om Suryaya Namah every single day, at least a minimum of 108 times. 6th house is also connected to enemies. So Rahu Moon will create hidden enemies, so be very careful. This is going to make your mind focus on the negative side of everything, and you might face a little disturbance or issues earning profits in life. But remember, if your earnings are clearing off the debt, very soon you will be left with surplus money which will never go down. So this eclipse will start a karmic process where you will be coming to an end of a cycle and a new beginning will start. So for Virgo, this is a time of transformation, and you will meet a lot of powerful people. You will have a very positive connect also with different members of society. You will also see that your network circle might have some people who are always against you but posing as your friend. That you will get to know. So don't feel disheartened because it is a positive exposure. It's a positive expose, and it helps you figure out who is with you, who is against you, and take decisions accordingly. The best thing that you have to do is focus on your mental health, focus on your physical health, and don't quit something that on which you have given a lot of time and effort. I will say for the next 15-20 days, try to focus only on the health side of life. In case of Libra, you are the zodiac sign of balance. Your karma should be both practical as well as emotional. And in your case, the 10th Lord is Moon. And when 10th Lord goes in the 5th house, it shows that you are very intuitive in your action, especially if it is Moon. So you can see here with Rahu, the intuition rises, goes beyond limits, and you get to experience things that are beyond normal, supernatural, like Siddhi, Mantra Siddhi, Mantra Urja, Kundalini Jagran. With Venus in Ashlesha in the 10th house and Rahu Moon in the 5th, this is very much possible that you get connected to a guru who brings you closer to the path of spiritual enlightenment. Kundalini Dhyan, focusing on the core issues of life. This will be the trigger of this eclipse. And this eclipse is going to show you some negative side of life. And because of that, you focus more on following the path of spirituality. Why? Because your ascendant Lord Venus is in the 10th house in Ashlesha Nakshatra. Ashlesha is a serpentine nakshatra, it's a Naga nakshatra, and the Sarp Rahu is with Moon in the 5th house. The Amrit is in attack by the eclipse, by the serpent. That means it wants to take away the positive side of you. All the positive karma that you have accumulated, you can throw it in the drain by doing some activity which is tamasic. Refrain yourself, have a lot of filter and control on yourself. For the next 3 to 4 weeks, if possible, only focus on spiritual side and keep other things business as usual. Alcohol, non-veg, smoking, all should be avoided at any cost. Try to do it. This eclipse should not trigger a chain reaction because 5th house is the solar plexus region. It can create fear. It can make you rethink on vital issues of life. It can make you rethink on life quality. 5th house is also children, so it can make you rethink on your relationship with your own children. So, karma, 5th house children, both are clashing. Maybe the health of your child is prohibiting you from going to office. A lot of new mothers experience this. You have to deal with this both emotionally as well as practically, Libra's quality. And in this case, the recommendation will be to pray to Ma Bhagavati by chanting Durga Saptashati, praying Durga Mata mantras, or simply saying Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Sanstita Namastasya 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 Namo Namaha. Focus more on children's life quality. You as a parent, if you are a parent, needs to focus on that side. If you are a young person, Rahu Moon can distract you from education. If you don't have a child, if you're a single person, your expression, verbal and non-verbal, should be controlled. Otherwise, this will impact you on the areas which are very critical to your life. Maturity is the requirement of the hour. Now, in case of Scorpio as an ascendant and as a moon sign, you are a mysterious zodiac. There is a lot hidden within you, and natural 8th house, you are an agent of transformation. And whenever there is an eclipse, Scorpio is naturally activated because eclipses are triggers of transformation. In your case, your 9th lord is going in transformation in the 4th house. Now, 9th house is belief system, dharma, what you consider to be right. It's about your mentorship, guidance. It's about your father, guru. When such a planet goes in the 4th house, this challenges your belief system, the cocoon in which you are in, the comfort zone. It challenges your knowledge, it challenges your boundaries. And 4th house is the inner circle, it is your heart region, it is your basically the Anahat chakra. And Rahu Moon conjunction makes you reconsider what you consider as a comfort zone. So the environment at home can be little shaken up. The situation in your life can be such that you are more worried about your future. Career can give you a little bit of tension. A sudden transfer or a sudden change of role can also trouble your mind a bit. If you see the course of Mars, Mars was in a very bad shape. Recently Mars moved in Virgo and Mars is now stable in your 11th house. But Mars is your will to fight, and when Mars is in the Virgo zodiac sign, this moon in the zodiac sign of Aquarius, because if you see from Aquarius, Virgo falls in the 8th house. So suddenly this feeling to give up and restart, feeling to quit and move to a different point of life, feeling to finish off things, the eagerness, the curiosity will become multiplied. It will have a greater intensity and force, and with that intensity, you would want to work and achieve things in life. And therefore, the recommendation will be that do things with patience. Focus on your own health, your own emotional self. Inner healing is the main theme of the lunar eclipse. The eclipse is in your 4th house, which means that for the next few weeks, do not create any unnecessary changes in your own home. If you are unable to sleep, if you are losing friends, it's the time to change your own self and maybe accept the other people's point of view also. People who have exalted Sun and Mars, if you are in Scorpio, ascendant or moon sign, if your Sun is exalted or Mars is exalted, this eclipse can be a little difficult for you because your natural potential is to lead, whereas 4th Rahu Moon can give you surprises. Even the best of the friends can suddenly vanish. They can suddenly become your enemies, or they can just the friendship can break just like at a snap of a finger. 4th house is a collective karma, the karma that you keep close to your chest. Rahu Moon wants you to let go. If you have a trauma related to mother, if you have a trauma related to a social injustice, this Rahu Moon will clear off that karma. With Moon in Shatbhisha Nakshatra, life will go full circle and you will see and you will be able to get away from the negative energy, because after the eclipse happens, the Rahu Moon conjunction will go in a very, Moon will basically cross the position of Rahu. In Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, this creates a feeling of detachment. It creates a feeling of Maya. It creates a feeling where you really want to be alone and comfortable. Suddenly you will start loving your own presence. When you are defending yourself, any ideology, a belief system or a point of view, you need to consider that there can be an element of change or surrender. With that emotion, you will be able to realize the true potential of life. Matters related to real estate, property should be put on hold. And if you are into the business of real estate and property, the recommendation will be to keep a Kuber Yantra on the north wall and try to do some Vastu corrections in your office or home and pray to Bhagwan Mahashiv by performing Rudrabhishekam. In case of Sagittarius, if you experience, the moon is the agent of transformation. It drives the very change of your ascendant because it is the lord of the 8th house. If you see the position of moon on 7th of September, moon will be in Aquarius. Aquarius is 8th house away from the 8th house. 8 houses away from the 8th house. This is Bhavad Bhavam. This kind of elevates the experience of the moon and the 8th house. And Bhavad Bhavam of the 8th house means it's the biggest time of your life for the biggest transformation of your life. Even the smallest of the change introduced in the next 1 to 2 weeks will have a lifelong impact. Because Rahu is in Purva Bhadrapada and it will demand sacrifices. It will demand a big change. It's a very good time to do sadhana. 3rd house Rahu moon will also change the equation with your siblings. It will also change your equation with people who work with you. Rahu moon in the 3rd house will also alter the mode of communication. It will also give you a lot of control over your life. An eclipse in the 3rd house can be very occult in nature. It can give you the power of healing in your own hand, and for healers, for Reiki masters, for anyone who is into the field of wellness and medicine of any kind, this is a very positive time if you are a Sagittarius ascendant. This is also going to take you to a position where you will be able to fulfill your desire and dream, and this can be the beginning. So for you, I will say you have the magical touch and you have a duty and responsibility. Whether you are writing something, whether you plan to write a book, whether you plan to start a new business because Jupiter is in 7th house, you will be able to do a lot if you think out of the box. Recommendation will be to do a mantra sadhana, and if you don't know what to do, simply say Om Somai Namaha. Om Somai Namaha. Praying to Chandrama is going to be a very, very potent remedy. Your willpower, although, will be challenged and you will have to face your fears. And therefore, this is the time to focus on your mental well-being. Time to tell yourself what you can do, your true potential. Trust me, you have never seen a transformative period than what begins on 7th of September. For Capricorn, the 2nd house will host Rahu moon eclipse. The eclipse happens in your 2nd house on the 7th Lord moon, with Ketu and in future Sun going very close in the 8th house. So this 2-8 axis and 7th house coming under the impact affects your personal and especially your married life. Remember that Saturn, your ascendant lord, is in the 3rd house. It's in water zodiac sign. It is retrograde. So you might end up pulling out things that are hidden in the past, or some past things might get exposed. For you, this can be a time of trouble. For you, this can be a time where your mother's health, mother-in-law's health can come into question, and this can affect your overall growth in life, overall decision making. 2nd house is food. 2nd house is speech. People suffering from food related allergies should be careful with this eclipse. If possible, on 7th you should not eat food. If you are a Capricorn moon sign, then this can create insecurities, lack of health, trouble on your throat, which can actually seem very normal, but it can disrupt some important events of your life. Things in the family can go a little sour, and between you, your spouse, or your business partner and your family member, things can go a little chaotic, especially if one of your family member is involved in your business as a job, or you are involved in their company as an employee. See, if I will give you a very simple recommendation. Keep your mouth silent, eat light food, speak positive things, keep your mental and physical health in check, and try to refrain from raising your voice. Try to refrain from speaking your truth. Maybe this is the time that you will have to take a step back and relax a bit. With Rahu Moon conjunction, this can create an illusion of someone out of the family, illusion that he is a part of the family, he or she is a part of the family, and that person can betray you. So when you say to someone that you are my family, you must have tested the relationship. 7th house is also business, so this will create new avenues of business, and maybe you will have to ask money from someone who you don't want to ask money from. Such challenges will be a part of Rahu Moon energy shift. People suffering from thyroid related issue should also be a little careful. Overall, I will say that this is not a time to be scared, but this is the time to be careful, because 2nd house is your bank account. 2nd house is your overall availability of resources. With Rahu Moon going in the lunar eclipse, psychologically you may have this insecurity. Psychologically it may make you feel that you lack resources, and you end up protecting or defending unnecessarily, or buying stuff, hoarding things unnecessarily. It increases your appetite and hunger for risk, because you feel that this is high time that you have to do something. Wait for 3 weeks, and if still you feel the same, you may take a call. Now in case of Aquarius, your 6th lord is Cancer zodiac sign, your 6th lord is Moon. 6th house holds Cancer, your 6th lord is Moon, and this 6th house lord is placed in your 1st house. 1st house you will experience a Rahu Moon conjunction from the 1st house, which means that you are kind of experiencing a very different kind of energy sequence, and that energy sequence connects with your own soul. It's a soul realignment, and a new purpose will begin from this lunar eclipse. Rahu Moon conjunction on the ascendant is very creative, but this can also create a lot of toxic thought process. This is also going to throw out all the negativity from within. This is also going to throw out all the clutter that is in your mind. This is the time to focus more on decluttering your life, and if you need to contact a psychologist, you should. This is the time to be more focused on the positive thought process and positive mindset, and letting go of hidden emotion is very important. So find someone with whom you can talk, with whom you can connect, with whom you can discuss. 6th lord is Prarabdha. So your Prarabdha related towards your mother may also come to an end. A new Prarabdha might begin. And if you are looking for a job, or in your job scenario, there will be problems. So you will have to show patience. For the next few days, the recommendation will be to be aligned with your own soul purpose and take one step at a time. Any kind of hyperactivity, any kind of imagination, actions on the basis of imagination will backfire. It is your 1st house. It is about you. It is about your mind. It's about your thought process. It's about your existence. So what should you do? Focus on your own existence, your role in life, your purpose in life, and you will find your true purpose starting 7th September. For Pisces ascendant, the eclipse is very different because it is happening in your 12th house. 12th house means subconscious mind, and you are experiencing a Saturn in Uttara Bhadrapada transit on your ascendant and moon sign. Imagine the amount of psychological impact it can create with an eclipse of Rahu Moon in the 12th house, house of subconscious mind. So dreams will be one of the medium where the energies can communicate. If you want to do some healing of your ancestors, you should focus on Pitra Shanti. For you, Cancer is your 5th lord. When 5th lord goes in the 12th house, it shows that you may have to unlearn a lot of things. This eclipse will prove that nobody is perfect. Be ready to be an empty cup and be ready to fill your cup, because this eclipse will give you a very different kind of exposure, very different kind of knowledge. Medically, this can create medical expenses, but this expenses will also be good because it will heal you. It will stop the ongoing medical problem in many cases. Take care of your eyesight, because a lot of people might complain eye related issues. In fact, you should help few people who have eye problems or eye related issues. Donate money. This is also the time when you have to address the core issue that was hidden for a very long time. You may go on the road of nostalgia. You may remember past negative events also, but this is good because this is going to clear the energies that is seated within. It's a cleansing transit, so should be treated the way. Now, this can also create an impact with respect to children. If your children are living abroad, you may be a little tensed about their life and their progress. Nothing to be worried. But for Pisces, especially Pisces moon, when Saturn is over your ascendant and on your Rashi, and there is an eclipse, this might create lack of productivity, and whatever you do might end up at a loss. So for 2 to 3 weeks, just keep things normal, keep things business as usual. Try to uplift yourself by watching some good movies. Encourage yourself and fill your mind with positive ideas and positive philosophy. This is not a war. This is a passing phase and should be treated that way. Rahu moon in the 12th house is good for psychic reading, and it will give you a different connect from the divine, from the cosmos. So you must be ready to be an empty cup so that you can be given new information.